Captain Alex Carter's ship shivered as it pierced the outer atmosphere of Zytheria. He had flown across half the galaxy, yet nothing had prepared him for the sight below. The planet stretched endlessly in shades of green, blue, and silver. Mountains soared like jagged crowns, rivers gleamed like molten glass, and forests whispered under a gentle wind. Zytheria looked alive, almost breathing, and Alex felt a mixture of awe and nervous excitement. "Status report," Alex said into his communicator, his voice steady despite the rapid beating of his heart. "Atmosphere stable. Gravity 1.03 standard. No hostile life detected near the landing zone," replied his AI assistant, Vera, with her calm, neutral tone. Alex exhaled. "Good. Let's keep it that way." The landing pad shimmered as the ship's anti-gravity thrusters engaged, lowering the vessel smoothly onto the polished surface. As the ramp extended, a warm breeze brushed Alex's face. The scent of alien flora, sweet and tangy, filled the cabin. He stepped down and immediately felt the weight of dozens of eyes on him. Before him stood a group of aliens, their appearance elegant and humanoid, but unmistakably not human. Their skin shimmered faintly in the sunlight, and their eyes glowed. Softly in hues Alex had never seen. Each wore garments that looked both ceremonial and functional. At the center of the group was a tall figure whose presence seemed to command respect without a word. Alex straightened. "I am Captain Alex Carter of the starship Endeavor. I come in peace, representing the people of Earth." The central figure, a woman, stepped forward. Her eyes were a deep violet, her hair a silver cascade down her shoulders. "Welcome to Zytheria, Captain Carter. I am Princess Lyra, heir to the Zytherian throne. Your arrival has been long anticipated." Alex blinked. "Anticipated for what?" Lyra inclined her head gracefully. "Please follow me. Your accommodation has been prepared, and we have much to discuss." Alex followed her through a city that seemed alive with light. Buildings curved like giant leaves, roads flowed like streams, and everywhere he looked, Zytherians moved with a natural elegance. The air was filled with soft music, not mechanical, but melodic, like the wind carried song. In the palace, Alex was ushered into a hall with walls of translucent crystal, reflecting the afternoon sun in dazzling patterns. Lyra gestured to a seat. "You may rest. Soon there will be a ceremony in your honor." Alex frowned. "Ceremony?" Lyra smiled, faint and knowing. "Yes, you are here for more than diplomacy, Captain Carter. You have been chosen." "Chosen? For what?" Alex asked cautiously. "For marriage," Lyra said simply, as if stating the weather. Alex froze. "Marriage?" Lyra nodded. "It is the tradition of Zytheria. Our cultures are different, Captain Carter, but to honor this alliance, you will wed me." Alex's mind spun. He had expected negotiations, maybe cultural exchange or even a formal reception, but marriage? He opened his mouth, closed it, and finally said, I didn't know humans were involved in your royal customs." Lyra inclined her head. "You were chosen for your courage, your intelligence, and your integrity. The Galactic Council has approved this union. Refusal would complicate relations." Alex's stomach twisted. Refusing could strain peace between Earth and Zytheria. Accepting could, well, he didn't even know. He had never considered being married to an alien princess, let alone one whose people seemed to glow in the sunlight. "I see," he said finally, forcing his voice to remain calm. "And what does this ceremony entail?" Lyra's violet eyes sparkled with an unreadable emotion. "It is simple. You will stand beside me, offer your words of loyalty, and accept the bond that unites us. It is both legal and sacred." Alex nodded slowly, trying to process it. "Very well. I will honor your customs. Lyra's smile widened. Good. One more thing, Captain Carter. Alex raised an eyebrow. Yes? She looked at him with a gentle but serious gaze. Galactic law requires that a spouse of a Zetherian princess also unite with her siblings. This ensures harmony in leadership and prevents internal conflict. You will also marry my sisters. Alex felt as if someone had punched him in the chest. Your sisters? Lyra nodded. 3 of them. Each has a role in our kingdom, and each must be bonded according to law. I understand this may be difficult for you, but it is not optional. Alex's mind raced. One marriage he could imagine, maybe even accept for the sake of diplomacy. But multiple marriages? With strangers? And aliens? His chest tightened with the weight of the situation. Lyra studied him quietly. I did not choose this law, but it is our way. I hope you will approach it with courage and respect. Alex swallowed hard. I will try. Lyra inclined her head. That is all I ask. You are about to meet my sisters. The doors of the hall opened, and 3 figures entered. Each sister was distinct in appearance and demeanor. The first, Celine, had hair like polished onyx and eyes sharp as a hawk's. Her expression was calculating, almost unreadable. She moved with precise grace, like a strategist stepping onto a battlefield. The second, Talia, had warm amber eyes and golden hair that caught the sunlight. She smiled gently, a kindness that made Alex want to trust her immediately. Her presence was calming, soothing. The third Arya had wild dark hair and eyes that gleamed with excitement and mischief. She moved with an energy that reminded Alex of a predator ready to leap, full of daring and adventure. Lyra spoke softly. Selene, Talia, Arya. This is Captain Alex Carter. The sisters bowed in unison. Welcome to Zetheria, they said, each voice distinct yet harmonious. Alex swallowed. It's an honor to meet you. He forced a smile. I didn't expect... You did not expect to be part of our law, Selene interrupted calmly, her voice crisp. Few humans do. I understand, Alex said quickly. I will do my best. Talia stepped closer, her gaze gentle. We will help you, Captain. It is not easy for anyone, stranger or native, to understand our ways, but you are not alone. Arya grinned. Good. I was hoping for some excitement around here. Seems we got it. Alex laughed nervously. The sisters' personalities were so different, yet each seemed to command attention. How could he possibly navigate this without offending someone? Lyra placed a hand lightly on his arm. You will learn, Alex. The laws of Zetheria may seem strange, but they are designed to protect our people. One day you may even see the beauty in them. Alex nodded slowly, trying to steady his nerves. I hope so. The rest of the day passed in a blur. He was shown the palace gardens, the grand halls, and even the training grounds where Zetherians practiced skills that looked like a blend of art and combat. Everywhere he went, he felt the eyes of the princesses on him, studying, measuring, judging. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the silver mountains, Alex stood on a balcony overlooking the city. Lyra joined him, silent at first. You are quiet, Alex, she said softly. I'm overwhelmed, he admitted. I never thought I'd travel to another world and be asked to marry. Not just you, but your sisters, too. Lyra laughed lightly, a sound like wind through chimes. Few humans do, but you have courage. That is why you were chosen. Alex looked at her, then at the distant lights of the city. I hope I don't make a mistake. I want to honor your customs, your people, but I'm not sure I understand it all yet. You will, Lyra said, placing her hand gently on his shoulder. For now, rest. Tomorrow begins your introduction to Zetharian, life in full. You will meet your duties, your responsibilities, and your sisters in ways you cannot yet imagine. Alex nodded, a mix of fear, curiosity, and excitement swirling inside him. This was the beginning of a journey unlike any he had ever known, one that would test his courage, his heart, and his very understanding of what it meant to be human, among the stars. As night fell over Zetheria, the alien city glowed softly beneath the twin moons. Alex Carter, human among aliens, future husband of 4 princesses, and reluctant participant in galactic law, stared at the horizon. He had no idea what tomorrow would bring. But one thing was certain. His life had changed forever. The morning light on Zetheria spilled across the palace like liquid gold. Captain Alex Carter woke to the hum of alien birds, their calls melodic and strange, filling the air with a rhythm he couldn't quite place. He rubbed his eyes and stretched, trying to shake the lingering fog of sleep. Last night's revelations, marrying Princess Lyra and her sisters, still pressed heavily on his mind. A soft knock echoed on the door. "Captain Carter," a calm, gentle voice called. "It is time." Alex sat up quickly. "Right. Time for what?" The door slid open to reveal Princess Lyra, her silver hair glinting in the morning sun. She smiled warmly. "Time to meet your sisters properly. Today you will spend the day with each of them. You will see who they are, and they will see you." Alex swallowed. His nerves tightened. I understand. Where do we start?" Lyra gestured gracefully. "Celine. She prefers to begin with logic and strategy. She will meet you in the council hall." Council hall was vast, with walls of translucent crystal that reflected the rising sun. At the center stood Celine, her black hair pulled into a tight braid. Her eyes, sharp and calculating, met Alex's with an intensity that made his stomach twist. She did not smile. She simply studied him, as if calculating his worth with a single glance. "Captain Carter," she said, her voice clear and measured, "I am Celine. You are to be my spouse. I need to know if you are capable of handling the responsibilities that come with Zetharian law." Alex blinked. I'll do my best. But what does that involve?" Selena raised an eyebrow. "Strength, intelligence, and understanding. You will be expected to assist in decisions that affect our people. Your actions will not only affect me, but the entire kingdom. Can you handle that?" Alex hesitated. "I think I can. I've led crews, made hard choices under pressure. I'll try my best." Celine tilted her head slightly. "Try is not enough. You will need to prove yourself. We will begin with a test of strategy." She led him to a holographic table, displaying a 3-dimensional map of Zetheria. Tiny lights marked cities, roads, and natural resources. "This simulation will challenge your decision-making. You will need to allocate resources, prevent conflicts, and protect the people. You will have 30 minutes. Alex swallowed, his heart pounding. He had played war games before, but nothing like this. He focused, analyzed the map, and made decisions quickly yet carefully. Celine watched silently, occasionally nodding or frowning. When the timer ended, Celine regarded him with a measured expression. "You have potential, not perfect, but capable. That is acceptable for now." Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. "Thank you. I hope that's enough." Celine's lips curved slightly. "For a first encounter, it is." The next meeting was with Talia, who radiated warmth and calm. She greeted Alex in a garden filled with glowing plants, their soft luminescence casting a magical light. Her golden hair shone in the morning sun, and her amber eyes held a kindness that made Alex relax almost instantly. "Talia," Alex said, bowing slightly, "it's nice to meet you." And you, Captain, she replied with a smile. Do not let the previous test worry you. Strategy is important, but so is empathy. Today I will see how you understand people. Talia led him to a gathering of Zitharians from various districts. Some have conflicts. Your task is to mediate and find a solution acceptable to all parties. Observe, listen, and act with care. Alex stepped forward, doing his best to hear each side. He asked questions, encouraged dialogue, and suggested compromises. Slowly, tensions eased, and disputes that seemed unsolvable were resolved. Talia watched him closely. You have a gift for diplomacy. Your approach is gentle but firm. That is rare among humans. Alex shrugged modestly. I just try to understand. People. It's important. Talia smiled warmly. It is, and it will serve you well here. Our people value heart as much as mind. Finally, Alex met Arya, the youngest and most adventurous sister. She had dark, wild hair and eyes that sparkled with mischief. Unlike Celine or Talia, Arya made no formal introductions. Instead, she grabbed Alex's arm and dragged him toward the palace jungle. Come on! You look like you need some excitement, she said, grinning. You're stuck in fancy halls and rules. Let's see how you handle a little danger. Alex stumbled to keep up, laughing nervously. Danger? What kind of danger? Arya pointed to a clearing where alien creatures prowled, large, sleek, and fast, with shimmering scales and sharp claws. Those. You're going to track them and observe without harming them. It's a test of courage, observation, and quick thinking. If you panic, it won't go well. Alex took a deep breath. All right. Let's do this. The creatures moved gracefully through the underbrush. Alex followed Arya's guidance, keeping low, silent, and alert. When one creature approached, unexpectedly, he froze. But Arya whispered calmly, Steady. Let it pass. He watched the creatures, recorded their behaviors, and noted patterns. By the end, Arya nodded in approval. Not bad. You didn't panic. You adapted. That's rare. In humans. Alex smiled, exhausted but proud. Thanks. I didn't think I'd enjoy this, but it's exciting, Arya laughed. Good. You'll need that excitement. Life here isn't always easy, but it's never boring. That evening, Alex gathered in the palace dining hall with all the sisters and Lyra. The table was filled with dishes of vibrant colors, textures, and smells unlike anything Alex had ever experienced. Lyra raised a glass. Today you met each of my sisters. Each has a strength essential to Zithria. Celine with strategy, Talia with heart, and Arya with courage. Together they form the backbone of this kingdom. Together we will help you learn our ways. Alex nodded, humbled. I didn't expect any of this, but I see now how much responsibility I am taking. It's overwhelming, but I want to learn. Celine's sharp gaze softened slightly. You will need to. Our people depend on it. Talia reached out and placed a hand over his. You are not alone, Alex. We will guide you, and we will watch over you. That is our duty, and soon it will be yours as well. Arya leaned back, playful as ever. And don't worry too much. You'll survive, Captain. Just try not to make us regret this, Alex laughed, the tension easing slightly. He looked around at the four sisters, their differences, their strengths, their presence, and realized that navigating Zitharian law would not be simple. But he also sensed that with patience and respect, he could earn their trust. Later that night, he walked alone in the palace gardens, reflecting on the day. He thought about Celine's sharp mind, Talia's kindness, Arya's daring, and Lyra's calm authority. Each sister was extraordinary, and he had only scratched the surface of their world. Vera's voice buzzed softly in his communicator. Captain, Your biometrics indicate elevated stress levels. It is normal under these conditions. Suggest rest and mental decompression. Alex chuckled. Thanks, Vera. I think I'll need it. He found a quiet bench beneath glowing trees, the leaves shimmering like glass. Looking at the twin moons rising in the sky, Alex allowed himself a moment of honesty. He was scared, yes, but he was also fascinated. He had traveled the galaxy, faced dangers, and seen wonders. Yet Scifi presented a challenge unlike any other, learning to navigate culture, duty, and relationships beyond human understanding. And yet, for the first time, Alex felt a spark of determination. He would learn, he would adapt. He would honor the laws of Scifi, and perhaps in the process, find his place among these remarkable sisters. As he closed his eyes, the soft hum of the palace and the gentle rustle of alien leaves filled the night. A journey of trust, understanding, and unexpected bonds had begun, and Alex Carter, human among Scytherians, felt ready to face whatever the coming days would bring. The next morning, Alex Carter awoke to a soft light streaming through the crystalline walls of the palace. The events of the previous day, meeting Princess Lyra and her sisters, still swirled in his mind. The thought of marrying not just Lyra, but all her sisters had been overwhelming. Yet, after spending a day with them, he felt a flicker of understanding. Each sister had a unique strength, and together they formed a powerful unit. A gentle tap on his door broke his thoughts. "Captain Carter," said Lyra, her voice calm and steady. "Today you begin your trials. Each of my sisters will guide you through a challenge designed to test your abilities and character. These are not games. Your success will show you can meet the responsibilities of a Scytherian spouse." Alex swallowed, feeling a mix of nerves and determination. "I understand. I'll do my best." Lyra's violet eyes softened. "I know you will. Remember, these trials are as much about learning as they are about proving yourself." Celine's trial. The test of strategy, Celine led Alex to a high tower overlooking the city. Inside, the room was filled with holographic displays and a glowing, three-dimensional map of Scythia. "This is your trial," Celine said, her voice sharp and focused. "You will face a simulation of a crisis. Our cities are under threat, and you must make decisions to protect our people. Strategy, foresight, and quick thinking are essential." Alex nodded. "I'm ready." The hologram sprang to life. Lights flickered across the map, showing simulated attacks on different sectors of the planet. He had to allocate limited resources, troops, supplies, and aid to prevent disaster. Every choice affected the outcome. Celine observed silently, her eyes calculating every move he made. Time ticked down. Alex focused, prioritizing areas in greatest need, predicting the enemy's movements, and ensuring citizens' safety. When the simulation ended, Celine nodded once, approvingly. "You made mistakes, but your decisions prevented a major catastrophe. You are adaptable, and you learn quickly. That is what matters." Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. "Thank you. I'll keep improving." Celine's lips curved faintly. "Good. Strategy alone does not make a leader. You must also understand people, which leads to your next trial." Talia's trial. The test of compassion. Talia awaited him in the palace garden, where groups of Scytherians had gathered. They were citizens with disputes and personal conflicts. "Your task is to mediate," Talia explained. "You must listen, understand, and resolve their problems. This trial tests your empathy and judgment." Alex approached carefully, letting each person speak. He asked questions, encouraged dialogue, and offered solutions that balanced fairness and practicality. Slowly, tensions eased. People who had been angry or afraid began to trust him. Talia watched, her warm amber eyes observing every interaction. When Alex finally finished, she smiled. "You have a rare gift, Alex. You treat others with respect and consider their needs. That is essential for a leader and for a spouse in Zetherian law." Alex nodded, humbled. I didn't expect it to be so personal, but I understand why it matters." Talia placed a hand gently on his arm. "Leadership is not only about strategy or courage. It is about heart. You have that, if you choose to use it wisely." Arya's trial. The test of courage. Arya, ever the adventurous spirit, met Alex at the edge of the palace jungle. The air was thick with the scent of alien flora, and strange sounds echoed from within the dense foliage. "Today you will face a trial of courage," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "You will track the Vailari, a creature native, to Zetheria. They are fast, intelligent, and dangerous if threatened. Observe them, document their behavior, and return safely." Alex's heart raced. "Observe and return safely. Got it." Arya led him into the jungle. He had to move quietly, follow tracks, and anticipate the Vailari's movements. The creatures appeared suddenly, their scales shimmering in the sunlight. Alex froze once, but Arya whispered, "Steady. Trust your instincts." By the end of the trial, Alex had followed the Vailari without harm, noting their patterns and behavior. Arya clapped him on the back. "Not bad, Captain. You kept your cool. That takes courage, and that will serve you well here." Alex laughed nervously. "I didn't panic." "Mostly." Arya grinned. "Mostly is good enough." Lyra's trial. The test of trust finally, Lyra led Alex to a chamber filled with crystalline puzzles and shifting light patterns. "This trial tests integrity and trust," she explained. "You will face situations where your honesty, judgment, and loyalty are challenged. You must choose wisely." The puzzles required him to navigate paths that seemed contradictory, make promises to simulated citizens, and solve dilemmas that tested his moral compass. At one point, he was tempted to take a shortcut that could have helped him succeed faster, but would have compromised the welfare of simulated citizens. He paused, considering the consequences. Choosing the right path, though slower, earned the trust of the holographic citizens. When he finished, Lyra's calm eyes studied him. "You chose wisely," she said softly. "Trust is not given lightly. You have proven your character, Alex. You may not fully understand Zetherian law yet, but you have taken the first step toward becoming a trusted partner to us all." Alex felt a sense of accomplishment. The trials had tested every part of him: mind, heart, courage, and integrity. He realized that marriage to the princesses was not just about law or ceremony. It was about understanding, trust, and responsibility, reflections and bonds. That evening, the sisters gathered around a glowing fire in the palace courtyard. The stars above shone brightly, and the twin moons reflected softly on the crystalline surfaces around them. Selene spoke first. "You have proven yourself capable, Alex. Strategy is not everything, but you have learned quickly." Talia added, "Your compassion is genuine. That is rare, even among humans." Arya grinned. "And you didn't run screaming into the jungle. That's courage, in my book." Lyra's violet eyes softened. "You have passed the trials, Alex, but the journey is only beginning. You will continue to learn, to adapt, and to grow with us." Alex looked at each sister in turn. He felt respect for Selene's intelligence, warmth for Talia's kindness, admiration for Arya's bravery, and a deep, complex bond with Lyra, whose calm authority guided them all. "I thank you," he said sincerely. "I never expected any of this. But I see now that these trials are not just tests. They are lessons. I will do my best to honor your people and your law." Selene nodded. That is all we ask." Talia smiled warmly. "We will guide you. You are not alone, Alex." Arya laughed. "And don't forget, life here is exciting. You'll need to keep up." Alex chuckled, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. For the first time, he felt a sense of belonging, even if he was still human among Zetherians, facing laws and customs far beyond his experience. That night, Alex stood on the palace balcony, once more, looking at the glowing city below. The trials had challenged him in ways he could never have imagined. But he had learned the strengths of each sister, and he had proven his courage, compassion, and integrity. He understood now that marrying Lyra and her sisters was not simply about ceremony or duty. It was about partnership, respect, and mutual trust. He had taken the first step into a world that would demand everything from him, but he felt ready. Alex Carter, human among the stars, had survived his first true challenges on Zetheria. And as he gazed at the twin moons, he knew the journey ahead would test him even more. But he would face it with courage, respect, and determination. The night air was calm, but Alex felt a spark of anticipation. The trials were over, but the bonds were only beginning. And soon he would discover just how deep those bonds could go. The sun rose over Zetheria, painting the crystalline palace in soft gold and silver. Captain Alex Carter had spent the last few days learning Zetherian culture, bonding with Princess Lyra and her sisters, and completing the rigorous trials that tested his strategy, courage, empathy, and trust. Yet despite his successes, a sense of unease lingered. The palace guards whispered in corridors, and the citizens' polite smiles sometimes carried tension. Something was not right. Lyra approached him in the main hall, her violet eyes serious. "Alex, there is a situation you must know about. Egi. Rival faction has grown restless. They believe a human cannot unite our royal family and maintain our traditions. They are planning to challenge our authority." Alex frowned. "Challenge? How?" Lyra's voice was calm, but firm. "Through disruption, intimidation, and possibly force. They want to show the people that the royal line is weak. You will be involved whether you like it or not. Your presence as a human and your bond with the sisters make you a symbol of unity, or a target of dissent." Alex swallowed. He had faced dangers before in battles and exploration missions, but this was different. This was political, personal, and cultural. Mistakes could cost lives or peace. Gathering intelligence, Celine stepped forward, her black hair braided neatly. "We must understand their plans before we act. I have gathered information about their leaders, strategies, and hidden supporters. Alex, your experience with tactical planning can help us counter them." Alex nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "All right, let's see what we're dealing with." Celine laid out a holographic map, showing districts controlled by the rival faction, safe zones, and potential points of conflict. She moved quickly, explaining the political and social dynamics. Alex listened carefully, asking questions, suggesting adjustments, and proposing strategies that combined human logic with Zetherian knowledge. Talia joined in, her warm gaze guiding him. "Remember, Alex, this is not just about strategy. It is also about hearts and minds. If we alienate the people, the rival faction gains strength. We must show leadership, compassion, and fairness." Alex nodded. He had mediated disputes with Zetherian citizens before, but now the stakes were higher. He would need to balance logic and empathy to prevent chaos. The first confrontation by midday, reports came in. The rival faction had attempted to rally citizens in one of the outer districts. Alex, Lyra, and the sisters arrived with a small escort to assess the situation. Crowds had gathered, some shouting, some watching quietly. Arya, ever the bold one, leaned toward Alex. This is your first real test with them. Show them what humans and Zetherians together can do. Alex took a deep breath. He stepped forward, projecting calm and confidence. "People of Zetheria," he called out, his voice amplified by the palace device. "We are here not to rule over you, but to protect you. Your voices matter. Your safety matters. Let us work together to find solutions." Celine subtly adjusted the holographic display on a portable device, showing resources, emergency plans, and community support networks. Talia moved among the crowd, listening to concerns, offering reassurance, and helping citizens feel heard. Arya stood at the edge, watching for signs of danger, ready to act if the situation escalated. Slowly, the tension eased. Some citizens nodded, some whispered to neighbors. The rival factions' leaders watched from a distance, realizing that their attempt to intimidate had failed. Strategy in action back at the palace, Celine laid out the next phase of their plan. The faction will try again. They will attempt to control key districts, disrupt trade, and sway public opinion. We need a coordinated response. Alex studied the map. We can use a combination of resource allocation, public engagement, and targeted defense. We show the people we are united and capable, while minimizing direct conflict. That way we weaken the faction without unnecessary violence. Lyra nodded. Exactly. We cannot appear aggressive, or we risk losing the moral high ground, Talia added. And we must communicate hope. People follow leaders who inspire them, not just command them. Arya grinned. And when needed, we'll take action quickly and decisively. Sometimes courage is the best communication. Together they implemented the plan. Celine directed strategic deployment. Alex coordinated logistics and human style. Tactical thinking. Talia engaged with citizens to build trust, and Arya led protective squads to ensure safety in vulnerable districts. Lyra oversaw every move, her calm presence tying the efforts together. The rival faction's mistake. The rival faction, frustrated by the lack of chaos and the growing loyalty of citizens, attempted a bold strike on the palace itself. They sent a small group to breach the outer gates under cover of night. Alex, alerted by palace sensors, moved quickly with Arya and the guards. Using a combination of human improvisation and Zetherian techniques, they intercepted the intruders before they reached the main hall. Arya's agility and combat skills neutralized threats efficiently, while Alex coordinated the team, ensuring no citizens were harmed. By the time the faction realized their plan had failed, their credibility had already been damaged. Citizens, who had wavered, began to rally around the royal family, impressed by the courage, intelligence, and unity displayed. Celine's sharp gaze met Alex's. "You adapted well. That decision-making under pressure, humans may have advantages we did not expect." Alex shrugged modestly. "I just tried to keep everyone safe and think ahead. That's what worked." Talia placed a hand on his shoulder. "You did more than that. You helped us earn trust. That is invaluable." Lessons learned. The following days were filled with debriefings, meetings, and careful planning. The rival faction attempted minor disruptions, but each time Alex and the sisters responded with efficiency and intelligence. Alex reflected on the experience. He realized that uniting with the sisters was not just a matter of marriage or law, it was a partnership in leadership. Each sister brought unique strengths: Celine's strategy, Talia's empathy, Arya's courage, and Lyra's steady guidance. Together, they had shown the people of Zetheria that they could overcome internal threats. Lyra approached him one evening as the twin moons rose. "You have done more than survive, Alex. You have contributed to the security and unity of our people. That is not something we take lightly." Alex smiled faintly, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "I couldn't have done it without all of you. You guided me, and I tried to learn." Lyra's gaze softened. "And that is why you are ready for what comes next." Marriage is not just law, It is partnership, responsibility, and trust. Today, you proved that you can handle more than trials. You can handle leadership. Alex exhaled slowly, letting the weight of the day sink in. He had faced danger, politics, and cultural challenges, and he had survived, and even thrived. The sisters' trust in him had grown, and so had his respect for them. Strength and unity. That night, the four sisters and Alex gathered once more in the palace courtyard. A gentle breeze rustled the alien leaves, and the glow of the twin moons reflected off the crystalline surfaces. Celine spoke first. The faction has been weakened, but vigilance is necessary. Unity is our strength, and Alex, you are now part of that unity. Talia added, Your compassion and understanding have inspired our people. You have earned their trust. Arya grinned, playful as ever. And your courage has proven that humans can keep up with us. That counts for a lot. Lyra's violet eyes met his. Together, we have shown that differences can be strengths. Today, you faced political and social challenges, Alex, and you succeeded. That is why we trust you, and why the coming steps in our journey are possible. Alex felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. He was human, far from Earth, yet he was part of something larger, a partnership, a family, and a duty that transcended species and tradition. He realized that the trials, the meetings, and the political challenge had all prepared him not just for marriage but for leadership. Scifi was no longer just a foreign world. It was a place he was beginning to understand, respect, and protect. As the night deepened, Alex looked at the sisters, Celine, Talia, Arya, and Lyra, and felt a mix of admiration, respect, and connection. Each sister was remarkable in her own way, and together they formed a bond that was both powerful and inspiring. Alex Carter, human among Zetharians, had faced his first true political challenge, and he had emerged stronger, wiser, and more united with the sisters than ever. The future would bring more tests, more responsibilities, and perhaps even threats from beyond Zetheria. But for now, he allowed himself a quiet moment of pride and hope. The palace was calm, the people safe, and the royal family, united in purpose and trust, stood ready for whatever the galaxy might send next. And Alex knew deep down that he was no longer just a visitor or a human out of place. He was part of something greater, something extraordinary, a partnership that would shape the future of Zetheria and perhaps the galaxy itself. The morning sun bathed Zetheria in soft gold and silver, and the palace sparkled as if it were made of light itself. Captain Alex Carter stood in the grand hall, dressed in ceremonial attire provided by the royal family. The day had arrived, the day of the official bonding ceremonies with Princess Lyra and her sisters. Alex's heart raced, not from fear but from the gravity of the moment. He had faced trials, political challenges, and cultural shocks. He had learned the strengths and personalities of Celine, Talia, Arya, and Lyra. He had earned their trust, proven his courage, strategy, and empathy, and now it was time to formally unite their lives according to Zetharian law. Lyra approached him, her violet eyes calm yet warm. Alex, today is not only a ceremony, it is the beginning of a life together. You have shown that you are worthy, not only as a human among Zetharians, but as a partner to us all. Alex swallowed, trying to steady himself. I will do my best to honor you, your sisters, and your people. Lyra smiled. I know you will. Come, the others await. The sisters' gathering. The four sisters stood together, each radiating their unique strength. Celine, poised and composed, gave Alex a nod of acknowledgement. Talia, gentle and kind, offered a warm smile. Arya, full of energy and mischief, winked at him, clearly excited for the day. Lyra, serene and commanding, extended her hand to guide him to the ceremonial stage. The palace hall was filled with citizens, dignitaries, and visiting ambassadors from neighboring planets. The air hummed with anticipation. The twin moons outside the crystal walls cast a soft glow, making the hall shimmer with ethereal light. A Zitherian elder stepped forward, his voice echoing in the vast hall. Today we witness a union that honors both law and heart. Captain Alex Carter, do you accept Princess Lyra and her sisters as your partners to stand together, guide together, and protect this kingdom together? Alex took a deep breath. I do. I accept this responsibility, and I pledge to honor each of you, your people, and the laws of Zitheria. The elder turned to the sisters. Do you, Princess Lyra, and your sisters, accept Captain Alex Carter as your partner, bound by law and trust? Each sister stepped forward. Celine's voice was firm and clear. I accept. Talia's voice was warm and melodic. I accept. Arya's voice was playful yet sincere. I accept. Lyra's voice, calm and commanding, completed the vow. I accept. The ceremonial bonds, a soft hum, filled the hall as the Zitherian elder raised his hands. Light flowed from the crystal walls, enveloping Alex and the sisters, symbols of Zitherian. Law appeared around them, intertwining in intricate patterns. The glow touched each person, sealing the bonds legally, spiritually, and symbolically. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. It was more than light. It was connection, trust, and understanding. Each sister's essence touched him differently. Celine's logic and focus, Talia's compassion, Arya's courage, and Lyra's serene authority. He realized that Zitherian law was not just about rules. It was about unity, trust, and mutual respect. As the glow dimmed, the elder declared, "The bonds are complete. Captain Alex Carter is now united with Princess Lyra and her sisters, bound in law and spirit. May your partnership strengthen this kingdom and bring peace to all." The hall erupted in cheers and applause. Citizens clapped, ambassadors bowed, and the sisters shared smiles that were at once private and public. Alex felt a mixture of relief, pride, and joy, personal connections. After the ceremony, the sisters led Alex to a quiet garden, away from the celebrations. Selene spoke first, her sharp gaze softened by a small smile. You have proven yourself, Alex, not only in trials but in handling the political challenges. I respect you. Alex nodded. Thank you, Selene. Your guidance helped me more than you know. I hope to always be someone you can rely on. Selene inclined her head. You already are. Talia stepped forward, placing a hand gently on Alex's arm. Your heart is honest, Alex. You care for people, not just for duty. That is rare. That is why I trust you. Alex smiled softly. I'll always try to listen and understand. I want to be worthy of your trust. Arya, ever energetic, grinned and nudged him. And don't forget to enjoy the adventure. Life is dangerous, yes, but also exciting. With all of us together, it'll be even better. Alex chuckled, feeling a sense of ease he had not expected. I think I can handle it, with you by my side. Finally, Lyra joined them, placing a hand lightly on Alex's shoulder. You have adapted, learned, and proven yourself. You are not only human among Zitherians, you are part of our family, part of our unity. Together, we will guide this kingdom into the future. Alex exhaled, feeling a weight lift from him. Thank you, Lyra. I am honored to be part of this family. The celebration. The evening was filled with celebration. Zitherians danced. Under the glow of crystal lights, music flowed like a river, and laughter echoed through the palace halls. Alex joined the sisters, learning dances, sharing stories of Earth, and marveling at the bonds forming around him. Celine and Alex discussed strategy and governance, laughing as they compared human and Zetherian methods. Talia guided him in social etiquette and understanding emotional cues. Arya dragged him through daring stunts and games, laughing as he stumbled but persevered. Lyra stayed near, guiding and supporting, her presence steady and comforting. For the first time, Alex felt fully at home, human among aliens, yet connected, respected, and trusted. The sisters' differences no longer felt overwhelming. They were strengths, complementary and essential to the life they would build together. Reflections. Later. That night, Alex stood alone on a balcony, gazing at the twin moons. The city below shimmered with peace, trust, and unity. The trials, the political challenges, and the ceremonial bonds had transformed him. He was no longer just a human visitor. He was part of something extraordinary, part of a family that spanned culture, species, and tradition. Vera's voice buzzed softly in his communicator. Captain, your emotional metrics indicate contentment and trust levels have significantly increased. Suggest you rest and reflect on the day's events. Alex smiled faintly. Thanks, Vera. I think I will. He reflected on the journey. The initial shock of the law, the trials of strategy, empathy, courage, and trust, the political challenges, and finally the ceremonies that solidified the bonds. Each experience had shaped him, teaching him patience, understanding, and the value of unity. He thought of Selene, Talia, Arya, and Lyra, not as obstacles, but as partners. Each sister had taught him something essential: to think clearly, to feel deeply, to act bravely, and to lead wisely. Alex realized that marriage, in the Zetherian way, was not just about law. It was about partnership, growth, and mutual respect. And in this family, he had found something he had never expected: belonging, a new beginning. The next morning, the palace awoke to a bright sky and the laughter of citizens celebrating the union. Alex walked among the gardens with the sisters, their presence comforting and inspiring. Selene discussed upcoming governance strategies. Talia listened to citizen concerns with Alex, offering guidance. Arya led him through playful training exercises, laughter echoing through the air. Lyra guided them all, her serene strength holding the family together. Alex felt a sense of purpose stronger than anything he had experienced. He was human, yes, but he had become part of Zetheria, not just by law, but by trust, respect, and shared experience. He looked at the sisters, smiling. We've faced trials, politics, and laws I didn't understand. But now I feel ready for whatever comes next. Together. Lyra's eyes softened. Yes, together. And together we will guide this kingdom into a future of peace, strength, and unity. Alex nodded, feeling warmth and determination. He had traveled across the galaxy, faced dangers, and learned from every challenge. Yet this partnership, this family, this life, was his greatest journey.